Tehran Grand Bazaar is a chaotic maze. Thousands rush through every single day. It feels like this place never sleeps. Well, except for him. But look past the noise, and every part of this market hides an unexpected story. Take the woman everyone calls Mrs. Strawberry, making fresh chocolate-covered berries right on her table. She studied law, ready for the courtroom. But life took a turn. The chef behind this pasta cart, her true passion is the stage. She is a dancer. She just brought her hustle to the bazaar, and crowds are already lining up. Nearby, she brought her homemade Kuku to the streets, quietly winning over the market with pure dedication. Summers here are absolutely brutal, and when the heat hits, this man's ice-cold traditional syrups are the only thing that actually cools you down. He's been here for over 30 years. Finally, a closet-sized kitchen run by twin sisters. Space is incredibly tight, but their sandwiches are seriously delicious. But this is just the beginning. Let's start from the top. Tehran's Grand Bazaar sits right in the middle of the city, and there are a couple of easy ways to get there. You can take a taxi, which is simple enough when traffic cooperates, or you can take the metro, which is usually faster, but around this time of day, it can get packed. So that's the route we're taking. A few stops later, we step out of the station and right into one of the busiest parts of Tehran. You can even get around the bazaar in one of these little electric carts. A ticket costs about 8 cents. People here know her as the Strawberry Lady. She's only been setting up in the bazaar for a week or two, selling fresh juice and a strawberry and chocolate treat she calls Choco Berry. One thing you start to notice in this market is that many of the people working here studied for completely different careers. She studied law. In a little while, she'll tell us, in her own words, what brought her here. Her Choco Berry combines pineapple, strawberries, banana, tiramisu biscuits, Nutella, and chocolate sauce. Earlier today, I ran into 2 people on the street completely by chance and invited them to be my guest. They're here to try the Strawberry Lady's treats and give us their honest reactions, no planning, no script, just what they really think.
من اول از اینکه دانشگاه رشته حقوق میخوندم و به خاطر شرایط کنونی کشورم مجبور شدم که بیام اینجا. قبل از اینجا یه کار دیگه ای داشتم که خب به خاطر مشکلاتی که برام پیش اومد نتونستم ادامهش بدم. مجبور شدم بیام اینجا و روز اولی که اومدم اینجا خیلی مردم استقبال کردن. دوست دارم که در آینده یه مغازه خودم رو داشته باشم، دیگه اینجوری بساط نکنم و تو همین بازار 15 خرداد یه مغازه خیلی خوشگل و تمیز بزنم که همه بیان و لذت ببرن. من خیلی انگیزه میگیرم، واقعا خیلی انرژی مثبتی بهم میدی. امیدوارم که همه این انرژی مثبت برگرده به زندگی خودتون و اینکه خیلی ممنونم ازتون.
Honestly, I'm a big chocolate person. And mixed with the fresh strawberries, pineapple, banana, and everything else, it actually works really well. I liked it a lot. Some people give her money so she can offer fresh juice or her Choco Berry to people in need. I thought it was a really meaningful idea and I supported it myself. If you'd like to help too, you can use Super Thanks. Part of it supports the channel and part can go toward continuing this work. Her name is Rezvan, and like so many people you see selling something along the street, there's a whole story behind how she got here. That's what I'm trying to show you, not just the food, but the person and the story behind it, because a lot of the real strength is hidden in those stories. Every morning, she brings it here and makes her own style of pasta right on the street. She told me she spent a lot of time experimenting with different methods to find the best way to make her pasta taste even better. She starts with butter, then adds garlic powder, cream, and milk, stirring everything together until the sauce comes together. Next go in the mushrooms and the seasoned chicken, and honestly, the chicken had a really good flavor. Then she adds a generous amount of thyme. Maybe, like me, you've always wondered why people add pasta water back into the dish. So I asked Rezvan, and she explained that the water contains starch released from the pasta. That starch helps thin out the cream sauce, keeps the pasta from sticking together, and gives it a richer texture and flavor. Then she adds garlic powder, followed by lemon pepper seasoning, and then 2 types of hot sauce, one green and one red. To finish it off, she adds some freshly chopped parsley. Behind this simple food cart, there's a person with a completely different passion. Alongside her work here, she's also a dancer and continues to follow that path seriously. Her dream is to one day build a life in South Korea. I truly wish her the best. Now, let's hear her story in her own words and find out how she ended up working here.
حقیقتش اینه که خیلی‌ها فکر می‌کنن دکه برا منه ولی خب حقیقتا نیست. من خیلی جای مختلف دنبال کار گشتم. چون مثلا به آشپزی علاقه داشتم، خیلی دنبال این بودم که تو کافه کار پیدا کنم که غذای مختلف درست کنم. ولی خب انگار قسمت نبود و نشد تا اینکه آگهی اینجا رو دیدم، گفتم که اوکی پاستا می‌خوام درست کنم، چقدر بهتر، چون هی درست کردم خیلی هم دوست داشتم، گفتم پاشم بیام. بعد دیگه پا شدم اومدم و دکه رو دیدم و شروع کردیم به درست کردن تا اینکه خدا خواست و کار ما هم گرفت.
Honestly, I was really impressed by this pasta. The price was about $1.26, and for that price, the quality was surprisingly good. Here in the bazaar, people usually come to shop, and when they start getting hungry, many of them head toward the food stalls. There's a lot of street food around this area, and the woman you're seeing here has been working in this bazaar for several years, making traditional Persian dishes like Kuku Sabzi and potato Kuku. She wraps these sandwiches in lavash bread and hands them directly to the customers. Lavash is one of the most popular types of bread used for sandwiches in Iran. She adds fresh tomatoes, pickles, herbs, kuku sabzi, potato kuku, and a spicy sauce that gives it a really nice flavor. I noticed that some people are willing to wait in a long line just to enjoy the homemade taste of her food. She usually arrives here around 11 in the morning, but she starts selling around noon, and by 3 p.m., all of her sandwiches are usually sold out. The number of sandwiches she makes every day is actually quite high, and selling everything within just 3 hours shows how many people come back for her food. Sometimes when we come to the bazaar, we like trying different foods, and we find street food really interesting and exciting. We actually came here a few years ago, and the quality of the food is still the same. Nothing has changed. It's still just as good as before, and that's really something to appreciate.
براشون میارم. من اینجا الان دختر گلم با امسال 6 سال اینجا. تا خونه میرم ساعت 7 میشه. بعد از 7 دیگه تا میرم و تا مغازه تا میپزم و تا درست میکنم 2 شب تموم میشه. از اول اینقدر سختی کشیدم تا به اینجا رسیدم. از 5 تا 10 تا شروع کردم. مشتری عزیزم اومدن که دیدن لقمه‌های خاله معصومه خیلی خوشمزه است، خیلی با عشق درست میکنم. خاطر هم اومدن که یه دونه خوردن و به این معرفی کردن، اون به اون معرفی کرد. بالاخره تا اینجا با حمایت عزیزان دلم اینجا رسیدم بالا.
One thing I've always loved about Persian culture is the way people support each other. When they see that you're working hard and your intentions are good, many people will help you in any way they can. Helping and looking out for each other is something that has been passed down through generations.
Bye bye.
During the day, Tehran, especially the city center, can get really hot. And sometimes the best way to cool down is with a cold drink. Here in the middle of the bazaar, there's a man who has been serving refreshing traditional drinks for years. He makes drinks like kakshir syrup, fresh lemon syrup, and tokme sharbati with mallow flower, borage, and rose water. Before him, his father was the one working at this spot. After his father passed away, he continued the tradition, and he's now been selling drinks here in the bazaar for around 30 years.
این یه دونه ستاش عزیز خدمت شما. سلام آقا، خوش اومد. یه دونه هم دوتاش فرقی داره. بفرمایید خواهرم. این یه دونه شما چی بدم؟ شرط دوتای شما بفرمایید.
It was honestly so refreshing. With this heat in Tehran, a cold drink like this really hit the spot. Further inside the bazaar, we meet two sisters who are actually twins. They open this little food shop together where they make and sell different kinds of dishes. Let's see what they're cooking. This is their signature sandwich. They make it with meat, fried onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, and potatoes. They also add their own mix of spices, including red sumac, black pepper, and their special seasoning blend. These two sisters have only been running this shop for about a week. In such a short time, they've already started building a group of regular customers and people who enjoy their food. One of their most popular items is their signature meat sandwich, and another favorite is their Bandari sandwich. Let's see how they make it. This shop is really small. There's barely enough room for 2 people to work inside. That's because having a shop in Tehran's Grand Bazaar is not only expensive to buy, but renting one can also be extremely costly. From what I understand, some shops here are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and some can even reach millions. For their Bandari sandwich, they use a mix of spices including smoked paprika, red sumac, black pepper, turmeric, salt, and their own special pepper blend. The rest comes together with oil, mushrooms, sausage, onions, and the other ingredients that give this sandwich its flavor.
نه زدم. تموم شد.
Their meat sandwich is really good. I like it, but honestly, I like their Bandari sandwich even more. The flavor is something I really enjoy.
همیشه تمومه.
بزرگ 230 کوچیک 100.
لیوان بزرگ به من میدید. اسم رنگ من میگیرم.
خب باشه چقدر بدم بگو
Thank you so much for staying with us until the end of this video. We're always trying our best to create better content and bring you the best experiences we can. With every video, we're working on improving the quality and making things better. We also really pay attention to your comments, your ideas, your suggestions, and the things you'd like to see more or less of. Many of you have asked us to visit different locations, and we've already started planning those. When the time is right, we'll be ready to film and share those places with you. We read your comments, and your support truly means a lot to us. Thank you for watching and for being part of this journey. I hope you have a beautiful and peaceful day. Until the next video, take care of yourself. Goodbye.